Morning children, all present here. I'm Ramya Devi, working as assistant professor in SNS College of Engineering. So welcome to the lecture series of data science and analytics, in which we are going to see about Hive Query Language. So in the last lecture series we were seeing about what is Hive and what is the architecture behind the Hive. So what is Hive? So Hive is commonly called as Apache Hive, is a data warehouse system commonly built on Hadoop ecosystem for processing large data sets. So for processing this large data sets, we use Hive architecture. So there are 5 components in it, like driver, metastore, executor, and also the compiler and optimizer for processing the data sets. And also we are using the HiveQL, Hive Query Language, for extracting the data from your Hadoop ecosystem and analyzing it. So here the HiveQL converts your SQL queries into a MapReduce jobs. So in the we are going to see in this lecture series detail about Hive Query Language. So what is a Hive Query Language? So Hive Query Language is like an SQL-like language used in Apache Hive to manage and query data which is stored in Hadoop. So it provides a familiar interface for the users from traditional RDBMS backgrounds, enabling them to write queries without dealing with the complexity of MapReduce jobs. And also we have a compiler component which converts this SQL queries into the HiveQL queries, and then it will extract the data from the Hadoop, and then it will process the large data sets. So the users who are using this HiveQL will look like the user interface as an SQL, so that they can query in an SQL format itself. And finally, in the background, the compiler in the Hive converts your SQL queries into an HiveQL and then process this large data sets. So what are the key features of HiveQL? So it has an SQL-like syntax which is easy to learn for those familiar with SQL, and also it supports select, join, group by, order by, union, subqueries and views like SQL. And also it has the features like partitioning, bucketing and user defined functions which executes queries through MapReduce, test or Spark. And also we have the basic HiveQL syntax like create database and table. Here we use create database name, and then create table name, like that. And also we can load the data directly by using load data, and then we can also give the path. So and also we can use the select query, join query, group by, aggregation, and also we can create a partitioned table. And also we have advanced QL features like views, subqueries, insert and CTAS. So here the views, in that we can able to create a view for a particular table, and also we can also use the subqueries like query inside the query, and also we can insert and create table as a select here. So we can also duplicate the data here. So the Hive Query Language is basically used for querying in the Hive database system. So these are the components which are used in Apache Hive. So Apache Hive is a very powerful data warehouse for querying the large data sets, and also it provides the SQL-like interface onto Hadoop, which query is translated into MapReduce, Spark or test jobs, making Hive ideal for batch processing, extract, transform, load and reporting tasks. So Apache Hive has the following components like metastore, pivot store and other stores for storing the data and also the processing the data. And also here the Hive data model consists of tables, partitions and buckets. Here tables are basically a logical structure storing data in the Hadoop Distributed File System or cloud storage, and partitions which divides table by column values for limiting the scan scope and speeding the query. Example, partition by year or partition by month. And also we have buckets, in which further it divides the partitions to distribute data evenly for better query performance. and here we uses the select, where and limit like your SQL queries. Here select is used same as your SQL by selecting some fields from a table, and also where has been given as a condition, and also we can limit the number of statements which has been extracted from your Hadoop data system. And also we can use the aggregation and grouping keywords like count, average and group by also in your Hive query language like your SQL query language. So basically, like SQL, like Hive is also providing an user interface like SQL, so that SQL queries can be used, and then finally it converts your SQL queries into an MapReduce jobs. Thank you.